So Nigerians keep blaming their government for lack of growth in the country. But here's what I'm going to say. The problem that Nigeria faces has nothing to do with bad governance and has a lot to do with the citizens. Nigeria, in my opinion, is supposed to be the greatest country in the world. I think it's the greatest African country at present. But the intelligence, the charisma, the confidence, the smartness, the craft, the skill, that country is so blessed beyond words. I have so much love and respect for Nigerians just because everywhere they go, they stand out. But what lets them down, if I'm being honest, is their love for material things. I feel like if Nigeria should come together and the citizens take a bit of accountability of their actions and everybody works together to change this mindset of oppression, to change this mindset that you have to show up to be respected, you have to show up to be popular, you have to show up to be loved. And I think it's a mental illness, because tell me what will make a normal person spend $1 billion on a wedding. Tell me what will make a normal person buy a jewelry that costs 300 million. Like, it doesn't make sense. Tell me why on the internet you see lots of Nigerians looking so flashy and yet the country doesn't have basic amenities. Explain to me why a country that boasts of so many successful people and yet the roads are bad, security is bad. Not phantom it. The hospitals are very basic, and then the well-equipped hospitals are very expensive. And so therefore the average person isn't able to afford to go to a proper clinic or a proper hospital. Nigeria is a country where people would spend their last money to look rich. That mindset needs to go. If there's anything I want Nigerians to learn from Europeans, it would have to be resourcefulness. It would have to be the fact that a European man could have £1 million in his account and be driving a 2010 car and feels absolutely no way about it. We're going to have to change that mindset. It's a mental illness. And what disturbs me is the fact that Nigerians are copying the opposite of what they should copy from Europeans. For example, Nigerians are going to Turkey to do their teeth. They're doing their bum, they're doing their boobs, they're doing their lips, they're doing all sorts of things. But the one thing that they haven't learned from Europeans is how to be resourceful. Can you imagine if every Nigerian stopped this flashy life? I'm not saying don't live. Can you imagine if they stopped this flashy life and they invested that money into the country to build schools, hospitals, roads, security, tourism, things that will attract foreigners to come in and invest? So even when Nigerians invest in business locally, they still invest in businesses that will attract people who want to show off. For example, a wine bar, a hotel, a restaurant, things that again warrants people to spend money and show. Why is somebody buying a tilapia fish for 2 million? A fish that costs what? 10,000 naira. That mindset has to go. The idea of wanting to outshine the next person, the idea of wanting to beat the next person and compete and make the next person feel little and oppress the next person is a mental illness. So that's why Nigeria is not growing. Not because you have a corrupt government. The citizens of Nigeria outweigh the people in government. And so therefore, if every citizen makes an effort for change to occur, automatically the government will change. But you can't be listened to if you're just as bad. If Nigerians change this mindset, not only will crime reduce, because the reason why there's a high rate of crime is because everybody wants to belong, everybody wants to come out and show off. So if the country changes its mindset, where if someone with a posh goes past, I'm not interested, so therefore that person feels irrelevant. Then I don't feel the need to go and steal. I don't feel the need to go and sell my body to then compete with that person. That's Nigerians' biggest problem. I cannot understand it. And you cannot tell me the younger generation cannot understand it either. That's what the issue is. If they can stop this love for material things and channel that money and energy to build in that country, I'll tell you, in 10, 20 years' time, Nigeria would be the greatest country in the world. I often say that Nigerians were made by God, and the rest of the world were made by God's workers, because let me tell you, those guys are incredible. Have you seen their fashion skill? Anything that a Nigerian touches is the best. And so I begin to question, why is the country the way it is? That mindset has to go. Davido got married not long ago, and everyone is talking about Chima's hair. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, the women who have gotten married in short hair, I don't know what the big deal is. I don't idolize celebrities. In fact, I don't idolize anybody. That's another issue that Nigerians have. This idea of idolizing and worshipping somebody and almost giving your entire existence to this person needs to stop. On the internet, all I see is Chima's hair. And I'm not being funny. She's a beautiful woman. I'm happy for her. But I don't think I'm going to spend a second of my time going through looking for Chima's video and hair and all these stuff. Like, time is wasted on the wrong things. Nigerians need to focus on what's important. Idolizing people is just not the way. Wanting to be like people, there's so much competition. This is one of the reasons why a lot of Nigerians have no mind of their own, because it's like the internet is what rules you. You need to get to a place where you all go back to the drawing board and realize that your country is a great country, the best in the world, in my opinion. It's the best. Something has to change. It's a country where people go to church every single day, and yet it looks and feels like the poorest country in the world. But here's the thing. Average European person's lifestyle, they actually comply with the Bible more than Africans do. It's pretty obvious. This is why they're more successful. And this is why when people question, well, why is Africa not wealthy? You know, they pray it's not about prayer. God believes in actions. So if he says do not kill, do not steal, do not do all of these things, even if you go to church every single day, if you keep doing these things, a person who doesn't go to church but abides by God's rule and law will get the rewards. It's just the way the universe works. You need to change. It's sometimes I question why a country as great as Nigeria cannot boast of basic amenities, and then on the internet you have people saying they spend billions on material things. The disparity in that country is unbelievable. Something has to change, and you have to tell yourself the truth. You need to change.